Previously on Talk That Talk. I don't know, Portia. You want to follow that?
What I'm going to say is that we've taken on the characteristics that they put on us. One of the goals to prevent, and I hate to keep going back to slavery, but was to separate us. You can't uprise, you can't overthrow, you can't do anything if I separate y'all. And out of that today, we have a you get yours, I'll get mine mentality. We somewhere along the way, lost our sense of community, our philosophies of it takes a village to raise a child. We don't have any of that anymore. So I don't care about your well-being, and I don't mind diminishing and demeaning you because it doesn't directly impact me, but it does. You throwing our people, whether it's 150, 100, a whole program, a whole business under the bus, is a detriment to all of us, because we can't hold other people accountable for how they treat us if we don't even treat ourselves the way we expect others to treat us. So we don't have a sense of community. We don't have a sense of I'm gonna help you because somebody helped me. Not overall, not in my experience. There are some people that have been awesome in my life, and I'm trying to do the same thing to other people. But the things that I see from our people on the internet are disappointing. Like, I don't know how we ended up here. When I hear my parents talk about how they didn't used to lock their doors, people would show up to their house unannounced for meals, they would take care of each other, they did things as a community. If there was a problem, they addressed it as a community. I think one of the saddest things that I've ever seen is, and this is when it really hit home for me. I'm a huge sports fan. I'm a daddy's girl. So me and my dad's football, basketball, all of that. That's our thing. I am a huge sports fan. But for there to be that many Black athletes that play football, and they allowed the NFL to blackball Colin Kaepernick, all they had to do was say they wasn't going to play one game. I bet you they would have fixed it. It's too many bodies. They can't play that game without us. So, they don't mind coming together to get what they want done. They're not going to allow too many of their people to get mistreated before they come together and figure it out. But we allow, he's better than half the quarterbacks that's in the NFL right now. But he doesn't have a job because he took a stand. Now everybody got Black Lives Matter on their helmet. Now everybody has, once it became status quo, but he started this and still can't get a job because I feel like our Black athletes didn't back him. You cannot play, when you look at those rosters, a game without us. So at some point we have to say, and Black people in America spend more money, not always a good thing, than any other race of people, but we don't ever put our money and our actions where, in place.
I agree.
So I'm just going to say we don't come together for any reason. Bad, good, indifferent. We don't come together, but we are quick to throw somebody else under the bus. Like, I could not believe that those grown men sat on that podcast and called Russell Wilson weak and say he was a cornball and all that other stuff. Why are you worried about his relationship? Why are we doing that on the internet to our people, to a man that is a businessman taking care of his family? Why we care? Why is that the topic of your conversation? We don't have anything better to discuss. We've lost our sense of community. And my brother is my brother, whether I know him or not. I don't see any other race of people on the internet throwing their fellow man under the bus like we do. And don't let it be any money involved. We really gonna throw you under there. But we lost our sense of community. What I hear my parents and everybody else talk about, I have not experienced for the most part. And I think that's sad. That's something I feel like our generation missed out on. So that's my 2 cents.
Say, just real quick, because I know Rick gonna blow it out the water. I'm gonna say this, and I have an old soul, and I hang around like a lot of older gentlemen and women who have wisdom. And the first thing that they always say is segregation honestly did things worse than what it did better. There were several black businesses that went under because we kind of wanted to sit at the table, not realizing that we didn't need the approval of their table. We could have made our own table. That's why I appreciate Rick that's truly making real talk, real black history. And he needs his credit where it's credit to him and Eric Prince for starting the USA bands
I
to be
agree.
to be adjudicated by, because you don't have to change your style. The reality of it is the UIL process is super subjective to a preference of people that are judging you. Think about this. They're judging something that they have no idea what they're looking at. Isn't that being black in America? And so we now have a system. So that's why those 3 different locations needs to be flooded with people that look like us and the people that stand with us that support the arts of bandsmen and band pageantry overall, not just a particular style. What I do appreciate is that when it was in PV, there were core style schools that did their thing. There were show style schools that did their thing. But at the end of the day, the adjudication process was fair and across the board, and no director had a complaint about it because it was fair. That's the true American dream. Not, okay, well, I really don't know what I'm seeing, but I don't like it, and I don't like the style of it. I don't like the sound of it. I remember Julian brought this up one day. He said, why is the status quo or standard for playing for like with black music? We got to play like Earth, Wind and Fire, Michael Jackson, like somebody that's a black crossover person. Like we got to do that for them to understand what music we actually play, instead of playing something that is culturally relevant to the students. Man, we could talk about this all day, but go ahead, Rick.